Believe it or not, we're
we're
live now.
We're live right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're live.
Great.
So I was trying to click buttons, and I guess I clicked the button. So we're live. So hello.
Well, hello everybody.
It says we have no audio, so check that button that you always.
Yeah,
we're
hit. Good.
We're good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've got mine on, but I can mute at any point.
Yeah. So because I didn't mean to hit the go live video button, but I did. So I'm glad everybody had their clothes on. So
yes, yeah, exactly.
I am currently not wearing pants.
That's not a prerequisite for any Zoom conference.
Okay.
Did you guys see the news
Barry
anchor
has never
who
worn pants in any video he's ever done.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Well, there was this guy who was like a news or a guest on a news show or whatever, and he was on live on Zoom, and he's like wearing like shorts, and he's got a shirt and tie and jacket. He's just wearing like some shorts.
Yeah.
It's funny because that came out, and then they showed all of these others. I mean, not just in quarantine from doing it at home.
Yep.
They're your local NBC caster, and they're like and it's.
You can't blame them.
Business on top, apparently.
It's the mullet of clothing.
It's the mullet of clothing.
That's
my clothing mullet.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so if you guys don't know, out in chat, we've got Terry Smith, we got Guy Klender down below, and Guy was with us on a Clone Wars chat a few weeks, month. So how long ago was it? It's been a while.
I want to say it was a month ago because it was it was quite a few episodes. Yeah, it was about the third or fourth one into the new season. Fourth one in.
Right. Did you actually finish it?
Oh, I've started at the beginning. So I am, because in the beginning, and Disney was great about putting that thing out on their Star Wars site and the Disney site about here's the chronological order. So I did it, and actually I think it's the third one they tell you to actually watch the Clone War movie. So Attack of the Clones. So I am at number 14 in season 1. I think I go up to 15, and then I got to bounce a few again. And you bounce against me. But I was very excited that when I hit a run of like I can watch 10 episodes and just let it keep going.
You're like, because it'll just start the next episode, and you're going, whoa, wait a minute.
Like, no, that's the wrong number. I need 302.
Right.
Kind of thing like that. So
exactly.
But I am enjoying it and really dig on it, and it's definitely I want to say it's first season episode 5 or 6 is the introduction of the Captain Rex character. It's also where we see these kind of not super battle droids because those were the big gray ones, but kind of the assassin ones. Yeah. Which I'm hoping they repeat a few other times, but we didn't ever see them again. We never saw them in the films. If we did, they were a background thing I never saw.
I don't think they were in the films.
No, they never made it to the films.
So they never made it
just to be clear, we're talking about the commando droids, right?
Yeah, the ones they dropped down, and then Rex and Cody showed up and
correct.
took over the outpost.
They're kind of in a 3-pronged, spike ship that drops, and then that opens like a camera.
You'll see a lot more of those, and you'll see a lot more of those in upcoming episodes.
It's ones like that, or now I'm excited to see more of them in Mandalorian and things like that, like the Death Troopers and this and that. When we get these offshoots of trooper stuff and droid stuff is exciting.
Yeah.
Tonight, I got Terry and Guy here. We're going to talk about 6-scale collecting. We're going to talk about We got a lot of stuff that happened over the last week, and I kind of want to talk about Star Wars hype.
Yes.
Everyone on here, and I know a lot of you in the chat are hyped up on Star Wars, which this is interesting because if you go back to when, let's guess it was last May. It was last May. Endgame drop, right? Marvel's doing this thing, and like Star Wars and Filoni and all those guys are like in the background, just like doing top secret, amazing stuff that nobody knew about. And in the 6-scale community, like everybody's buying Iron Man, Thor, Cap. I mean, just hot Marvel everything is the world. And then go past a little bit, we got Rise of Skywalker. Actually, we got Mando, Rise of Skywalker, and it feel like since Mando hit, it's been 100% Star Wars, and who the heck is Marvel?
I think there's been a huge resurgence, and I think that it's interesting you bring that up, that we don't hear much from the Marvel stuff. And I think it's because there's nothing, not that there's nothing in the pipeline, but we haven't, other than Black Widow, which we've now seen a trailer for, everything is in production, and now everything's a pause of production. So it's, what's going on? So we don't have any of this new stuff. And for a long time, we were waiting on Star Wars stuff. And I think with Mandalorian, we saw kind of a throwback to a bit more of the original storytelling style that we saw in our Star Wars Empire and Jedi, in that style, and that I think that just brought a lot of nostalgia feelings for those of us that are of a certain age. But I think for newer audience members, you had this, I am sure there's plenty of 10-year-olds that think this show is amazing, yet they've never seen any spaghetti Western to go,
right?
Oh, wait, there's that kind of thing, which is really neat. And I am loving this behind the scenes that we're getting on each episode. And at first I was like, oh, you're only giving me one episode and I got to wait weekly. I have to be honest, now that we're 3 weeks in, I'm liking that it's released that way, because I'm enjoying each course of the meal instead of me going to the hometown buffet, filling a plate all at once and forgetting what the heck I ate.
You sound like you've done that before.
I have. But that's what I'm liking about it. I think it's and I think it's allowing the conversations that that roundtable discussion is having.
Yeah.
To
I didn't get my invite. Did you? I don't know if you guys got the invite to that table, but I didn't. I checked my email. It wasn't in there.
I didn't. I went and vacuumed later. No.
Yeah. It was not in there, and I was like, man, surely I missed my invite email to that roundtable.
I think it's the recent one that's casting. What I thought was neat is when we were discussing how it is to, and I hope that we do a little bit more of this, and one of the others is how to play it with the helmet. That you get this, Carl Weathers is talking about, you don't have anything to play back on. But then they were also talking about slight tilts of the head or this, that, and the other. And I know, Terry, you've talked about it in posing videos, particularly about some of the troopers, is just that slight tilt, or this is a tilt I don't think you'd get. That's inquisitive, and I don't see the character doing that. And it's really interesting that those little movements are exactly what they're doing in a show like this, but they are saying so much. And that she was able to, between the two others that do different stunts, able to know who she was. Obviously, she's probably going to know, oh, well, so-and-so is working because we've got to fight. But getting that information and seeing how they do it is neat. And him saying that, he watched what they did to play into it. I thought, there we go. There we go. That is the
unfair advantage.
Yes, that's the, I'm going to go into a store.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
I don't know what bounty he collected to earn that helmet, but it must have been a good one.
If I could talk about it, I'd tell you, but I can't.
He can't talk about
it. He's got this amazing helmet, his dark T-shirt, and then he's got light cargo shorts on. And that's when you go, oh.
I don't know. I think he said he's not wearing shorts, so I don't even know. But I'm super jealous of that helmet. I've been on a helmet kick here lately.
Well, don't be too jealous of it. I've been doing a lot of comparisons between the helmet on screen and this helmet right here, and it's not 100%.
I will tell you, there was a rumor leaked out this week. You know how that goes. That Black Series is going to be making a Mando helmet.
Oh, I would expect one.
So I expect it as well, but the fact that it's kind of starting to get out there, I mean, it would be crazy for them not to capitalize. If they can deliver like they've done on the other ones, that's going to be value for money. Going to be solid.
Have you? Because I know you've, on the West Coast, it's very, very difficult to, even in a non, restricted element, to be able to find too many things directly in the stores. Have either of you seen in person the white prototype Black Series Boba Fett helmet.
Yeah, not in person. No,
Not in person.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the green one in person.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in person yet. But I guess
I watched a really solid review of it.
Of the white one?
No, of the green one.
Oh, yes.
They were doing a comparison between it, the FX, and a custom helmet. I can't remember which company made it. It wasn't a Novos,
Right.
but legitimately, it was just manufactured using the original mold, the closest replica that you can possibly get. They did not have nice things to say about the Black Series paint job, but then they didn't have any nice things to say about the FX version either. And I think that was probably pretty fair. I think the FX version of that.
I think you're
precision
also
cast replicas.
Yeah, I think that it's, to be fair to manufacturers of them, is you're also talking a price point.
Yeah.
If I'm spending $400 to $700 or something on it, I'm definitely expecting a different type of craftsmanship. And I think this than the Black Series, which is let's just say it's a higher end cosplay version of a toy.
It is.
You know, however, it's a displayable one that you're very happy with. And I think this is also where we look at the different range of toys and collectibles, that I can have a 3 3/4 with 5 points of articulation figure, or that I can have, like you've brilliantly have displayed there, 3 amazing Hot Toys ones with, over 30 to 40 points of articulation and incredible paint jobs. And but again, you're looking at price point.
Oh, 100%. You're going to get,
and you go,
the Black Series, I think they have the value.
Yes.
I mean,
they do.
And if you're just like, I'm not wearing them, I'm not cosplaying, I'm throwing them. I literally throwing them on a shelf, and then that's the end of it.
And they look great. Yeah.
So whether it's $100 or $500,
99% of the population is not going to notice any issues with a Black Series helmet that's hanging on your wall.
They're just going to be happy. When you were talking about your new Mando there, I just saw a guy post. He hand makes them out of steel, and he had his process there, and it was, they were very costly. They're definitely a custom made job. But
definitely heavy.
Yes,
yeah,
I think he said it's like 6.5 pounds or something. But that's the neat part is we're seeing such a return and a love to the Star Wars.
And I think a lot of it boils down to what you were saying earlier, guys. You have we just have so much new material right now.
Right.
We're being inundated with it. There's an onslaught of new Star Wars stuff, and it doesn't seem to be letting up yet. So and I think that's the key. That's why sorry, I didn't get a chance to talk about this earlier, but that's why we haven't seen a lot of Marvel stuff lately. Is because after Endgame, it kind of more or less came to a grinding halt.
Yeah.
Now we have upcoming television shows on Disney Plus that will be Marvel based. Just off the top of my head, you've got the Winter Soldier and the Falcon and Winter Soldier one. You've got the Vision and Scarlet Witch one.
Yeah, the WandaVision.
Didn't they announce a third one as well?
Yes, and I'm blanking on what that one was.
The two you mentioned are ones.
Yes, I mean they're.
Yeah. Anyway, we have Marvel stuff. The long story short is we have Marvel stuff coming up, and I think that what we're going to see is that once that stuff starts rolling around again. Collectors are capricious, man.
You think the pendulum's going the other way?
Yeah. When we
how come the pendulum never goes to DC?
Yeah. Well, let's just talk about when you talk
DC needs to be asking themselves that question.
Yeah. How the pendulum swings.
Loki, good call. Thank you, chat. Loki.
Look at how in the last week to 10 days we have watched the 6-scale Star Wars stuff blow up.
Yeah.
I mean, from announcements to you're on the wait list now to all of it is really, really incredible. I mean, we saw 40th anniversary stuff on May the 4th, which I'm very excited about. We saw new takes on paint jobs, which is neat to see. I lucked out and was able to do the Rogue One figure unseal and reveal. And then, I did that a week ago and whoosh,
Yeah,
Hopefully
I'm
you
super
ordered it,
jealous,
folks.
by the way, because you got the whole cosplay thing going. I saw that video.
Yes.
And then the guy, and I had a prior engagement. I couldn't do the interview with you and Michael Giacchino, and I was kicking myself that I wasn't able to be there for that because I really freaking love his score.
Michael and I are probably going to do a Zoom Tiki night, and feel free to join us.
I'm in, man. I'm telling you, film scores and the whole thing. Yeah.
Michael's incredible. What makes Michael so fun, and why for me it was really exciting when it was announced that he was doing Rogue One, is that he is a fan first. There are some franchises or something that it's just a job for the person. Okay, it's just a job. But this is somebody who has reached a point that he only works on things that excite the heck out of him.
Right.
It's a guy who made his own Super 8 movies and was into Spider-Man and this, that, and the other, and so gets to do those. He didn't say it, and of course he wouldn't, but I am hoping that because he created the musical themes to some of the characters that we see in Rogue One, with a Cassian prequel show, I have a feeling his themes will at least be in there, but I'm hoping that he will be uniquely involved.
Yeah. Terry, did you know how much time he had to write the score for Rogue One?
Like 4 weeks, right?
4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks
To write and record and do a whole.
That's just absurd. That is
crazy
so
fast,
absurd.
And what I thought was interesting is that he did it chronologically.
Yeah.
If you watch the recent that's now on Disney Plus, I believe it's also on the Blu-rays of Last Jedi. There's a little blurb about John Williams doing it, and the very last thing that they scored for Last Jedi was the big theme song, which in '76 was the very first thing that they ever scored. So the fact that he did it in a linear type way versus going, okay, I'm doing this battle and this battle and this thing, and okay, now I got to tie them all together. It was a straight through, and to do something like that with that really was really cool.
I was super jealous of that conversation because I'm a music guy myself, composer. I've done the whole thing, and not many people know that, but yeah. But the fact that you had that, and then you did the Unsealed and Revealed Krennic. I mean, I already knew I was getting it because it was Rogue One, so it was like it was just.
I knew you were going to dig it because of the Rogue One.
Right? That was no question.
Not do it, but I am hoping that everybody watching this episode hopefully has already ordered one and should be getting one relatively soon. If they haven't, get yourself on that wait list. He's an incredible figure. I'm only hoping. I mean, we did get a second opportunity to get the Death Trooper.
Yeah, I will definitely be adding more.
I'm hoping that there might be second opportunities to get a K2. I'd love it if we get a second take on K2, because I rewatched the film. If it's a movie-based character that I do on the show, I usually watch that film 3 to 4 times beforehand, even if I only have 2 days or a day that I know I'm going to be doing it, because I really want to know, can he move or be posed, or does he look and move the way that the character did? And watching that and wishing that the K2 would come out in a 2.0 version, shall we say, is I'd love it if we did like the Iron Man, we would get some battle damaged options.
Right. I want this. I want the bag that Jen gives him that he just drops on the ground. I just want that bag, like a 6 scale duffel bag that he just drops.
I think it'd be fun to see things like that. I like when there are accessories or things that are. One of my favorite accessories to see in any 1/6, and I don't know how Terry feels about it. I do want to hear how you feel about it, Terry. Is anytime that they come with a drinking element. If they come with a coffee cup, or if they come with a martini glass, or this and that, I'm always digging on that. So I like those. So with the Death Trooper Sergeant, and he came with her toy, I was like, a toy holding a toy.
That's really cool. To be honest, that's the one feature from the Death Trooper Deluxe that I miss.
Yeah.
from when I sold it, or from when it was taken from me, more appropriately. But yeah,
I think that's neat, and I know that you
it
and
is. It is. Yeah.
you and I and Michael, we all actually own the toy.
Yeah. I've got.
I know you got one when you were out
here,
with me, and
The one from Galaxy's Edge?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have that yet. I need it.
Don't worry, you're going to get one.
I'm not worried. I will get one at some point.
It's very fun. It's very fun because it's in the 12-inch line of toys, but it's technically also a 1/1 scale prop replica.
Right.
So for me,
it can legitimately stand next to a 12-inch toy.
Yeah. So it looks great next to him. So for a Rogue One display, I think it's a must.
You gotta have it, and the fact that we're getting Krennic, which I didn't see it going. I mean, I didn't figure they'd make like 1 billion of them like they do Iron Man. I didn't figure they'd do that, because of overseas markets and whatever. But the character is, I mean, he was the central villain. I mean, how do you not get that character if you don't? And I think what's happened is in the 6 scale community, everybody is seeing the Rogue One line climb, and everybody's going, "Oh, I ain't missing out on that one this time. I'm not going to pay the $500-$600 price."
I don't think you want to miss out, but I also think you're seeing this as this is an opportunity to connect some of your collections. I mean, you like myself, I picked up the 2-pack of Vader and Tarkin. Well, the great part is there's a scene with all 3 of those guys. So even if he's the only one I got from Rogue One where I go, no, they didn't do the character I was hoping. No, I can reenact this scene, and that's kind of the cool part, and that's what I think is so fun. And I for one am excited that we are getting, I don't know how you want to phrase it, but additional opportunities to get figures that we didn't think we'd get before.
Right.
I definitely jumped on the Trooper. When I saw the Krennic and he showed up at the house, I went on May the 4th and went order, and I ordered a larger quantity than one would think. But the nice part is now those also branch in to Mandalorian. So the cool part is we're even seeing this interconnected community or interconnected storyline within our 6 scale toys, which is exciting for me. That's what I like about it.
It's exciting and scary because it means you need multiples of the same figure.
Well, it does, like with Solo. I'm glad I also Han and Chewbacca being my 2 favorite. I'm glad years ago I went slide to the maximum number of Chewbaccas I could own.
Yeah, I don't own a Chewbacca, but at some point one day I will. As far as Terry, let me ask you this: on the Rogue One line, is there any other character other than, I mean, Cassian might be obvious, but any other character you'd like to see them tease us with?
Well, yeah, any of the any of the actual Magnificent Seven of Rogue One, I want to see.
I love that you phrased it as Magnificent Seven. I so like that you did that. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's the they're kind of the Magnificent Seven, but it's more along the lines of a Dirty Dozen. Actually, I think I've gone on record as calling them the Dirty Half Dozen. Plus one, is that right? Yeah. How many of them are there? There's 6 or 7.
That's good. I don't know.
2, 4, 6. I think there's 6, right?
Well,
no, there's 7.
Let's see. We've got Jane, Cassian, K2, Baze,
Bodhi,
Chirrut.
There's 6.
6.
If you count K2, I mean, you got K2 in it.
You got to
I counted him to get my 6.
Yeah. So 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, there's some other.
That's it. In the past, I've called them the Dirty Half Dozen, so that explains why I did that.
There you go.
I would like to see a Galen Erso myself.
Yes, I would. Particularly now that we've seen the how much people are liking the Krennic. That you go, okay,
yeah.
I want that scene there.
If what you're asking me though is like which character outside of the Dirty Half Dozen and outside of
whoever, just
what I like to see, then I would have to go with Saw Gerrera. Period.
Wow.
Okay.
That would be
Now-
a beautiful figure, I think.
I would pay $300 for a Saw Gerrera
Well,
figure.
I would, if we get a Saw Gerrera, I would. This is what I'm hoping for. As you've seen, anytime I talk about stuff, I absolutely love if you give me 2 portraits.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that in the upcoming Clone Wars release, where Terry and I spoke briefly the other day about that one. The Saw Gerrera, I'd love to see the younger portrait and the older portrait.
Yeah.
As an option, and because of the way that his costume does not really change and has that neckline, it's a possibility. I'd have to really go back and go, what changes would have to be done? But I think that would be fun. That's another thing that I liked so much about the new figure is with the Orson is the ability to change how he is throughout the movie. When you have the raincoat and you first see him, it's one line of the chiclets. And then later on, we see him and he's got the 2 lines. And what they did with that figure is allow you to remove it, that you can put them on however you like.
Right.
And
can we talk about that a minute? Because you and I were chatting earlier about cosplaying that figure.
Yes.
That guy. And Terry, this is no joke. This was the chat. Was that all you had to do was get like a white shirt on and go to like the store and buy some chiclets and spray paint on whatever color chiclet you wanted.
just glue the chiclets on. Just glue your favorite chiclets.
And Guy flat out told me he was higher ranking than the Emperor.
Yeah, I had 50 chiclets on there, so I got more chiclets than anybody.
Yeah, I was at a store or whatever you messaged me.
I will say this is probably why I don't cosplay well.
Yeah. you cheated. You got 27 guns. He's over there in the con, like ordering everybody around with his 50 chiclets.
Yeah. So some guy in the 501st going, who is the guy telling us to do everything? I don't know, man. He's got more chiclets. We got to do what he says.
Right, exactly. I got a kick out of that, man.
I really liked that. I mean, I'm one who loves a scene-specific figure, and Terry, I want to hear how you like your 1/6 figures. I like if they're scene-specific, but I also like when we get the opportunity to see them in an entire story arc.
Display options.
It's one of the reasons that the Iron Men are so neat, that you get that clean version, but then you also get the opportunity to battle damage, giving you those. And that's what I really liked about the Krennic is.
Well, mine will be here Thursday. It got shipped Friday. I can't
Friday. Wait
should be here Thursday.
To see when you get them in hand. I mean, Terry, you've got one on the way, correct?
Yeah, it should be here. I would guess Friday.
Okay. Well, I'd love to touch base with everybody about him.
I'm excited about it. It's an odd character to be excited about, but because he's not, like you said, he's not an Iron Man with 27 switch outs. He's not like
correct.
But he's a freaking villain, man. He's a bad dude.
And when he's done right, I mean, this guy could be in what we call museum pose, or some people who've been on your show are referred to as pure vanilla posing.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's a great figure. I would like, if we get this, if we get the Cassian show, I don't see any reason why we couldn't have the Krennic character be something we see again.
It could happen.
Possible.
I am hoping that
there's got to be a villain.
Well, not only that, but I think I'm hoping that we saw in Mandalorian where it bounces back in flashback a few times, where we're seeing him as a younger individual, and just briefly, but it's giving us more of what that's about, and with a Cassian show, and of course I have no idea what their plan with it is. He says, I've been in this resistance. I've been part of this since I was 6 years old. So I think that allows you a huge timeline for us to see him. I would love it if we bounce back to how did he get involved? I would like to see him in the early teen years, and who kind of mentored him, and who did he work with And is he familiar with the Saw Gerrera guy and things like that. I think it's going to be. I think there's a lot of really fun backstory to do, not only about him but about Resistance, about Vader and his guys, all of that stuff. I think it's really fun. That's what I'm loving, is the interconnected, not only with the stories, but I'm loving that I'm getting it in my toys.
Well, the fact that Krennic is coming back, or they brought Rogue One figures back for us after so many years. It always, I think in the collector community, the 6-scale guys are going. The question is what else? Mm-hmm. What does this mean? Like we were talking, Terry and I, we were talking about 6-scale last week with or week before last about Captain Rex dropping with the with the lifelike sculpt versus the animated sculpt, and what were the impacts on that versus our chances of getting an Ahsoka, or the other, the clones. And I know that was it's still a controversial. People are still salty about the animated versus lifelike.
That's one of them. Yeah. That I will say I'd love if it had been 2-portrait. Yeah, I think I like that I think it's going to tell us a lot of different stuff. I mean, we don't know much about season 2. Little things are leaking out about Mandalorian season 2. We'll see where.
Yeah, we don't know where we're going to go there, but the Krennic opens up doors in the Rogue One lineup. That because maybe they'll do another release of a Death Trooper specialist, and maybe they won't. I don't know.
I'm down.
I would like to have them both, particularly when I've ordered so many of the others, because eventually I want that line behind.
That's going to be an expensive display, but one that will be pretty epic.
Things happen.
Yeah, I'm not judging, man. I'm not.
Hey, currently I'm spending absolutely zero money on gas.
Yeah,
but you don't go anywhere. So.
Well, I know, like I said, Terry's got Krennic coming this week. I've got Krennic coming this week. I'm trying to think of any other upcoming releases that will be dropped. The Han Solo Deluxe figure I need to buy. I haven't bought that one. I need to get that one. I just like that one for the tailoring. Like it just looks beautiful.
I love that. That's Terry. I want your take on that figure.
Sorry, I tuned out. Which one?
We are talking the deluxe version of Solo.
Oh, I won't be getting it.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not.
Now, were you not a Solo fan necessarily?
I love the movie. I just don't have room.
Okay. Yeah. He's one where I knew.
I'm actually surprised that I'm getting Krennic.
Yeah.
I'm still up in the air about Rogue One. I don't know. I want to be a Rogue One. I went through a period where I thought, okay, they're not going to do the other Rogue One characters, so I'm not even going to waste my time with it anymore. So I got rid of my Chirrut, immediately regretted it. I also got rid of my Death Trooper Deluxe and my Shore Trooper, regretted that immediately. So I guess that by getting Krennic, I'm still trying to latch on and maybe have some hope that I'll get all those other things back.
I'm with you on that. Where you go, and that's that completist idea where you're like, darn it, you're not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't get my full dirty dozen. I don't get my entire fellowship. I don't get my that's.
Well, we got Chirrut and no bays. I mean, like, what's the?
What I'd like to see is a 2-pack. I'd love a 2-pack of those. For those of us that didn't get it the first time.
Yeah.
And those of us that really would like to do that. I'd love those. Those were two of my absolute favorite characters from that. I liked how they worked together. It was just such a different idea, and a unique friendship. It's one that as far as figures go, I'd like to see those too.
I'm seeing a lot of, at least I saw it earlier in chat, people are asking questions like, what does waitlist mean? So let me try and answer that. And
I think it's been answered pretty nicely in the chat.
You answered it already?
No, somebody else did.
Okay. Well, as long as it's been answered, I will leave that alone.
Somebody's, let's see who actually answered it properly.
Thank you for answering it.
Yeah. Cameron, maybe? No.
Somebody. Anyways,
it's been answered. Yeah, it's been answered a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, well, now I wasn't able to chime in with you guys when we talked about the your Captain Rex guy and So obviously, both of you rabid for an Ahsoka.
Oh yeah. So I'll take an Ahsoka 6 scale figure or an Ahsoka statue. I don't even care which one. Just something.
Just care.
Don't care.
Now, we have a number of seasons, and now going into a TV show. What time frame of Ahsoka's timeline would you like to see her in? You only get one. You only get one figure. It's going to be a 1/6 figure.
That's harsh, man. That's harsh.
I know. This is when it comes down to choosing. Choose wisely.
Well, I'm not gonna go with episode 1 of Clone Wars.
Okay.
Because that's too young.
Okay.
That's a baby Padawan. We're not gonna go that young.
Mm-hmm.
Season 7 Clone Wars.
Season 7 Clone, like when she has matured and arrived, and she's like confident, and she's I'm gonna go with Terry on that one. I mean, Rebels wouldn't be a bad call either, because she took on Vader. I mean, it was pretty. But,
yeah.
Season 7 Clone Wars, I think that's where I'm gonna head as well.
All right. So, what made you choose Terry? Because you did it like that. You snapped it with a 7 like nobody's business. So, talk to me about why, if you can only get one, that's the way I want it.
Well, there's 3 at this point that we know of, or that we think we know of, arenas in which Ahsoka makes an appearance: Clone Wars, Rebels, and Mandalorian. It's safe to say that she's only going to be a tertiary character in the Mandalorian. She's certainly only played a supporting role although a major one, in Rebels. The Clone Wars, however, Filoni has gone on record as saying that the entire series is about Rex and it's about Ahsoka. So that's her series, so for my purposes, that's where I want to see how I wish to have her represented if I had only one figure. Okay. Where do I want it to be from? Right there, where she's peaked, where she's at her zenith.
Good call.
Now, as we've seen Captain Rex now done with a photoreal sculpt, this Ahsoka, how would you like to see that done?
Me?
Both of you individually.
At this point, I don't really care one way or the other.
Okay.
I mean, I wanted the animated clone sculpt, which you're not getting, so I'm going to throw that out. Because if you got an animated Ahsoka, she wouldn't fit in anywhere. Mm-hmm. So, I will take like I'll take a statue 6 scale. I don't care, just something. Don't even care.
Now, if you were to ask me which one I think we're going to get, if it's 6 scale, then I'm almost positive it's going to be a Mandalorian.
Okay.
And it's going to be a Rosario Dawson head sculpt.
Okay.
If that's the case, if the rumors are true, if she's actually going to be there playing Ahsoka, then, and if we get a figure from Hot Toys, then that's the one it'll be.
Well, I'll be honest with you, they have not cast me as Ahsoka, so it won't look like this. So we're good. Rosario Dawson's way better.
The facial hair is very difficult to get in 6 scale. And all
We've
three
seen
of
what
us.
happens when they
That's
try.
why you and I aren't toys. That's not true. Terry's seen the toy of me, which is pretty funny.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'll go for Rosario Dawson because I think they're not going to slack off any of the artistic skills that they have for that character.
Is it possible, and this is because I'm very behind on the show, is it possible to do it like they've done with the Captain Rex, where there's the photoreal version, so the armor isn't in the animated style either, but do an animated Ahsoka head sculpt? It's a swappable head. Would it be too jarring in the design?
I'm down for it. My concern is not necessarily live sculpt or animated. It's how's the range of motion going to be on her head with her, all that.
With the
or it's going to be like they did with the sculpted hair on Aquaman, where he's got that split that goes between the shoulders, and it looks. I don't know.
Terry, chime in there because you've been a little bit closer to development and design. Where do you think they'll go with addressing that issue on an Ahsoka? figure.
All that I can do is speculate. I really don't have any knowledge as to where they go with that kind of thing anymore. It's my development and design, what little development and design knowledge I have is hopelessly out of date. But yeah, I really couldn't say, man.
Dude, but we would probably have to have a softer material to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows, man? Hot Toys will do it eventually because it's one of the most popular characters.
Exactly. You can't neglect the. You can only go to so many things where every time you're asked, when are you going to do this? When are you going to do this? That it becomes
exactly.
Do we really need to do it? So
exactly. Yeah. So, Guy, I have not seen your collection. Don't know what. I mean, I know you have a lot, but do you, in your display options of this, do you typically put scenes together, or do you vanilla pose them, or how do you display? Because there's a lot of people here who are new to displaying things.
I will say I go through different phases with all of them. I mean, when I get a figure, I'm usually just excited about the way in which it's been done. Before I'm even looking at, say, can I superhero pose Iron Man? I'm just excited, and he will probably stay in that vanilla or museum pose for quite a bit for me to just revel in the fact that it exists. Then later on, it's what can I do with him individually? And then the third phase is how do I incorporate it?
Gotcha.
Now, sometimes if it's, when I got the Tarkin and Vader 2-pack, yes, that's a 2-pack. That's about that scene. But what I'm excited about now is I can technically do a scene that I never expected I would do. And that's now I take it from a New Hope scene and make it a Rogue One scene.
So you're going to have Vader choking Krennic on the ground.
I haven't decided. I have a number of Vaders, so he can be in a number of them. But yeah, I mean, I think it's always kind of fun when there's new people collecting, and we've seen that all of us have either individually been asked in different forms or another is what should I get? What do I collect? And I think most of us have always said across the board, you get what you like.
Yeah.
Get what you're into. But I do like when there's something that's just kind of a one-off. Those are exciting to me because I don't have to worry later on to create the scene or to create that thing in my mind. But I also like what Terry says, and I love it, where he says that we as the 6-scale collector, when we pose, we are the last in the art. We are the last artist to work with it, and that's a great thing to say, Terry. And it's probably why I like the 1/6 versus statue collecting. I have a number of statues as well, but there is something fun about being that last artist to do it.
We're the final step in the creative process.
Yes.
Sometimes
we're better at creating than others. Like me, most of the time, I'm not a very good creator.
But there's, again, but that's
it just means I'm a rookie creator. That's all.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, but there's, I'm looking at the stuff behind you, and even if you're collecting it because it's an art piece. That's what I think is so great about this is that we've seen that the 1/6 is very much an art form. And what I like about it is that it's appreciated as an art form, and that even if it's standing as straight armed and straight legged as it is, at no point do you go, yeah, I'm not into it. No, you're into it. It's the art that you like. So, what are you excited about that's been announced? Terry, let's go with you. What has been announced that you went, oh boy, in the last, say, month?
Remind me, what's been announced lately?
Oh boy.
Well, there's the Terry Smith figure, but it's 1/12. So
yeah, diminutive.
Hold on. I got it right here. Hold on, because I did have it pulled up here as far as what's newly announced.
Yes.
All right, hold on. I don't.
Newly announced or an opportunity to have again.
Yeah, nothing's coming to mind. Ravager and Soundwave.
Ooh,
Okay.
That looks cool. You know.
Now,
Well, you got the vintage Fett, right?
Yeah, you know that didn't wow me until it was cool. It was cool, but I didn't decide I needed it until I saw the packaging, and that classic packaging is kind of cool.
I'm really excited about that. I mean, I know on the show I'm doing, and then when I've done in written form, packaging has always been a discussed thing. But there are certain ones where I think are, yes, dust yourself. There are times where the package alone is exciting to you, and that's
the Rogue One deluxe figures for one thing.
Yeah. And that's what I'm really digging.
Yeah. Well, other than Rex, which everybody was jumping up and down about, I will spout off some. All of the Spider-Verse figures, I love all of those.
Yes.
Scout Trooper and Speeder from Mandalorian, all over that. Probably going to get 2 of those. Other than Mando, I think that's really, as far as new releases in the past maybe 60 days or so, I think those are probably the
most exciting.
They did that. They pre-ordered, or they sent up for pre-order that the Batgirl. I don't collect DC, but that's a cool looking figure.
The Spider-Verse one, I am really him on his own, I thought was great, and I was like, oh boy. And they've done a really good figure when the woman in your life is like, oh, I can't wait to have that, and she's excited about it. So that was a great one. And the Spider-Gwen now coming with Spider-Pig. So we've got 3. So I'm hoping that I'm really hoping we finish out that line.
I've watched that film so many times. It's ridiculous.
Terry, which one of those would you like? I have a feeling you and I are on the same page of, if we only get one other character out of Spider-Verse, only one, doesn't have to be a Spider-Man, one other character from the Spider-Verse animated film.
Aunt May.
You want Aunt May?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's your answer. So that's, you're done. No. Terry, what do you choose?
Doc Ock.
You want the Doc Ock? That would,
that'd be cool.
That was a really neat take on that character.
Yeah.
It was really neat.
So I didn't see it coming. I was not prepared for that. That's
No, I don't think it was telegraphed or hinted that way.
No.
I'm sure that there were many others that were like, oh, I knew that coming all along.
And I don't think anybody saw that one coming.
They're just better at knowing that stuff than me.
I don't know how they would make the Kingpin figure. Like, he would have no articulation whatsoever the way they drew him.
He'd have to be, but again,
like
that's a challenge. But it'd be neat to see. Would they do that with with an undersuit, that you'd still go with the traditional body, but you'd pad the suit? And we've seen that, and not to that extreme, but we have seen the padded suits before.
We have, but I would probably go with the Spider-Man Noir.
That's that. Okay, well, that's me. I loved that one, and I hope so. However, then her in the spider droid, not droid, but
the robot, the
robot spider is. But it would be neat to see what they do with that style, and that's the kind of fun part, is we're seeing that in a different way. So
exactly. Well, we've got. I know Terry's going through this, or has gone through, and I've gone through this, where you've sold off some stuff and you wish you hadn't, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then you've also bought stuff you really wish you hadn't. Like, you're like, why did I buy that?
Why did I get that? Why did I get that again?
Yeah, I've had those. So, Guy, what's something you've jumped out there in the 6-scale line, or even statues or whatever, and you're going, why did I buy this? What jumps out?
Well, I've never done the why did I buy this. I've usually wound up being, why did I buy so many? And when the Stormtroopers were first coming out, if there was a max quantity, I hit it at each point, because I was going to army build. And I think now my Stormtrooper collection, what I would want to probably do is very much the Iron Man museum of where it's all the different suits. I'd really
That's where I'm
like
headed.
to go back and fill in the gaps of ones that I didn't.
Yeah, I'm headed on one of each variant. And I'm good.
Yeah. The one that I was, when you talk about waitlist, the one I was waitlisted for the longest time, and I still need to go find is when Sideshow did the different Sand Troopers, which were my favorite. There was the Sideshow exclusive had the one where he's holding the little disc, and it's the Luxor droids arm. So you got to swap out hand, and it was him holding that little white metal piece, and it was Luxor droids. And mine
hard to come by these days.
Yeah, and he's one I'd like to have.
I've got a Sand Trooper Sergeant sitting over there that I think his joints are turned into Jello. It's that old. He's been around a minute.
Yeah. But that's where I'd say there's been times where I bought a bundle of them. I mean, when they announced Chewbacca, and it was we were going to finally get a Chewbacca, and we were going to get a figure that was with the hair, and I have 4.
Yeah,
hairs.
That was one I went, why did I get so many? Of course, now we get Solo, and I'm like, oh, I can put him in there. And I have Force Awakens. Oh, now I can pair them up. So the nice part is I get to pair them across the way. So I do have ways to display him.
Well, mine was Ultron Prime.
Oh, yeah?
I was severely disappointed by that figure when I got it in hand. And I was like,
okay.
Oh. Like on pictures, it looks amazing, and the finish on it looks great. And I'm like, it looks metal. Even though it's 100% plastic. But for that one, I was let down by that one.
You were hoping. Now, what about you, Terry? Is there ones where you either bought more than you thought, or because you've said, wish I hadn't have gotten rid of that one.
Yeah. Well, there's an inordinate number of Hot Toys First Order Stormtroopers on the wall behind me. Mm-hmm. I've got to wonder. What the hell I'm going to do with these?
Yeah. I don't think you have to wonder.
They had me on that with the pauldron. Anytime you do that pauldron thing, I dig that.
That's a man with a plan. That's not a problem.
Yeah. It's a fun thing to have.
And I told that man with a plan if he needed extra troopers to let me know. Well,
as you know, I've been very outspoken about not wanting to talk negatively about any figures, not out of like any desire to kowtow to any 6-scale figure companies, but just because I don't like to dwell on negative things. There's too much of that going on in the world right now. Without my help, if you were to twist my arm and say which figure disappointed me, then I'd have to side with you, Ryan. I was completely. It's very rare that I open up a figure, look at the box, look at it in a box, and say, "Oh," and then close the box and put it away. But that's exactly what happened with that Ultron Prime figure.
The Ultron Prime, not the Ultron Prime, the Ultron Mark 1 was gorgeous.
Yeah,
like with the wires and that was gorgeous.
Yeah, he popped back up for a quick minute during the Sideshow anniversary.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
I didn't buy it again.
That was one that I did not have in my collection, and went, oh, wait a second, that was I kicked myself for not.
That's the only one out of all the figures. Now I've had some I've bought and sold and whatever, changed the collection up. But that's like the only one that I've actually gone like, I was like disappointed with. The other ones I just decided to change to collect something else. I wasn't really disappointed with them.
I think that's what it is. I think that's the interesting part, is that we all evolve as collectors. I started in 78 with small Star Wars figures, and they're still to this day some of my favorite things. Those originals. I do love that retro line that they've done. I can never find them, but I do like that they exist. But then they changed. Then I think, what I liked with that 1/6 is that it was, allowing more detail and more design, and then allowing me to do more and be involved more. So, but I'm always a fan of. I've never ordered anything that I didn't wind up liking. So, which is great. I've always And I think that's just because I love the heck out of these toys. I'm just a toy nut. I absolutely love it. I mean, there was a good, well, from episode 1 all the way through Clones. So you've got every, 2 years, 3 years? I was camped out in front of a toy store, a Toys R Us, a KB toy store, a Target, or a Walmart every day for every year. Just to get into them. So
that's pretty cool.
So
I'm fairly excited about upcoming releases now because of the whole pandemic thing. It's kind of slowed down shipments and that kind of stuff, and I'm okay with that because it gives us a break on the wallet for a minute. So I'm okay with that.
It does.
A little bit for that. But I also have the feeling that once the floodgates open, it's going to be like boom, 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 boom. I'm going to get that too.
Well, yeah. If you're staying at home and you're a sculptor, believe me, you're sculpting a lot.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure that there are a lot out that are exciting.
So I'm excited to see what comes up throughout this year. But I'm kind of like you with the troopers. I'm trying to get like one of each variant to add to the collection. Even going back, like I don't have the Sand Trooper with the orange pauldron. I don't have that figure. Like next, I think I want that one. I've got all the Rogue. No, I take that back. I don't have the Rogue One, just regular Stormtrooper, like the clean one. I don't have one of those. I've got the exclusives with the pauldrons and the backpacks and all that stuff. But I kind of want that Sand Trooper next with the orange pauldron and the droid or the I kind of want all that stuff.
They used to be pretty reasonable as of a year ago.
I just didn't buy it because I was done. You know how it is. You're chasing something else, and then over here it goes boom and skyrockets. You go, oh crap.
Don't have to explain to me, buddy. I'm right there with you.
I mean, you're chasing whatever. And
now wait, you said you're looking for something with the orange pauldron. I believe Terry just held up 2 boxes that had a guy with
those are snow troopers.
That's first order, not OT.
Yeah.
I know, Terry. I was just helping you out.
You can paint one of those pauldrons orange, and we'll.
All right.
You're good.
But no, I just enjoy the troopers, man. And my favorite trooper to straight up just mess with is the Return of the Jedi troopers, because I don't have the A New Hope ones, but the Return of the Jedi troopers that are on Sideshow site still.
Oh, with the
I have so much fun.
The shoe has white. Correct?
What's that?
Where it's got the white bottomed shoe.
I think so.
Yeah, it's got the white bottom.
Yeah.
Because they were going to be up in the redwoods, so they needed to have a little more traction.
Yeah, and but there's just so much fun. I'll just grab one off the shelf. I'll start fiddling with it because it has the cloth undersuit, and you can just do whatever you want with it.
Well, okay, Terry, you've got or have, whether or not you still own, but in your hands probably, you have probably posed every trooper that's ever been released. Do you have a favorite that you loved posing?
Pardon me, Guy. That's a lot of troopers.
Captain Phasma.
Yes, I know. It is a lot of troopers.
Just
so
say
much that it
Captain
required
Phasma.
you to lean in. I like that.
Yeah. Yeesh. Certainly not Captain Phasma. I love the Captain Phasma figure. I mean, you can.
I love it too. It's just
really,
really scratching.
Yeah.
I love it as on the shelf,
lover.
But it's not one I go grab and say,
If there are degrees of difficulty for figure posing, figures when it comes to posing, that's definitely up there. I think on the scale of difficulty for posing, obviously the Hot Toys First Order Stormtrooper figures are the highest. Captain Phasma might rank a close second. Also, although those Batman figures that they came out with for the video games are pretty challenging too.
Yeah, that one they just released recently, like the black and gold one. That thing is beautiful.
Prestige. I just got to play with him this week.
I don't do DC stuff, but that figure is gorgeous.
He is pretty darn neat. If you are a Batman fan or if you are a gamer, he is incredible. Absolutely.
If I was going to get a Batman, I'd get that one or the red variant or whatever they did maybe a year or so ago.
Apparently from the game, this is the third suit that they've released for him. I am horrible at games. I had only plugged in the PS4 a week and a half ago, and that was because they said, we're going to have you do this Batman. I'm like, I don't have that game. I don't know. And I was very glad that Best Buy at the time, and still does, has the had the curbside pickup, so I could order the game.
There you go.
Now I didn't do very well. I kind of fall off the building a lot, so I did not get to that special suit. But it is pretty incredible. I'm liking. We love our lines and we love our Star Wars lines and this and the other. What I'm liking and excited about, and Sideshow has them on their site, and I'm sure they're on the sites of the manufacturers as well. Some of them that have come out that, like I say, I'll call the one-offs or something like that. The from Peaky Blinders, they're doing a Tommy Shelby.
I did see that. Yes.
Hot Toys is.
And that's Big Chief is doing
Okay.
that.
Yes, and
That makes more sense.
I'm excited to see what they'll be doing with that. There's a Ming the Merciless that's going to be coming out, which is another one I'm excited about. The Dr. No James Bonds, I'm curious to see. There's a Rambo and a Conan the Barbarian, and I'm really interested to see how those are going to be, because those are, remember, Conan completely shirtless and Rambo being in the very deep V-neck. I will be curious how that looks when you're posing it.
They have sculpted muscles and all that mess. Yeah.
Yeah, when you get into that suit, the rubberized suit that years ago we never would have got something like that because it wouldn't have looked right.
Right. Exactly.
And now we are seeing different ways to tackle those. So
right.
I'm digging on that when you can have a bare armed character and go, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, even you might be afraid to bend the arm, but
yes, but
for a period of time.
Yeah. But it is. I'm excited that it's there.
Yeah,
I'm excited that it's an option.
Guys, sorry to interrupt, but I've got a thing. I've got to head out. I've got to
right.
if you will.
See you, Derek.
I had a rendezvous scheduled with the wife, so I got to be there.
Yes. On my end, I can smell food, and I believe dinner is very close.
Boom! Well, there you go. Because I was about to wrap it up, anyways. So, guys, it's been an hour. Guys, thank you for joining us tonight for another episode of this. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Stay tuned. Go check out Terry's YouTube channel if you haven't already. Go check him out. Subscribe. All that kind of fun stuff.
Yes.
And we will see you next time, sometime, somewhere. I don't even know when, but we're out. See you.
Adios.